Hey everyone, Aaron here with Canyon Adventure Vans, and today we are going to show you how to mount your large universal table to a Lagun mount, just like this one. So first we're going to go ahead and unbox this. I've already carefully cut the tape. And what we're going to hopefully notice, is that there is a little care package here, a little kit with the hardware that is going to be needed to mount this table. So if we open this up, you're gonna see the following. You're gonna have 2 Allen keys. You're gonna have 2 of these black spacers. You are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these larger bolts. We have 2 of these smaller bolts, or shorter I should say, and 2 of these longer ones. These bolts here are not going to be used on this application that we're doing today. These are going to be for a different type of mount. So we'll put those aside for today, and we won't be needing this larger Allen key because that goes to these bolts as well. So all we're going to be needing today for this process is going to be this smaller Allen key, 2 black spacers, 2 shorter screws, and the 2 longer screws. So we'll go ahead and clear this packing material out of the way. All right, and now we're gonna set the table. This is gonna be the side that you will put your things on, your food and all of that. At the bottom, you're gonna see these inserts that accept these bolts that we're gonna be working with. Highly recommend putting it down on a nice, clean, smooth surface like this, rather than a rocky or dirty surface with anything that could damage the top of the table. So place this down on a clean surface. We're gonna take our plate here and lay it right over the top of these 4 holes. So you'll see the smaller inserts here, which are going to accept the smaller bolts that we're working with. Lay this right over the top. And what you could do is go ahead and take your shorter bolts first and just get these started here. Okay, and just get a couple threads in there. Okay, being careful not to cross thread. And then now I can go over here. Now, as you can see, this side is a smaller gap than this side, and this is going to be the side that we put the shorter bolts in. The larger side, we're going to put these spacers in here and use the larger bolts to thread into there. Okay, so we're going to just thread this, or put this right through the plate and the spacer and grab those threads. It's not grabbing right away. You can just make sure you're not cross-threading. Back it out and try again. There we go, that's grabbing nicely. So the very important thing to notice here is that the longer screws or bolts are going through the side that has the spacer. So you don't want to use the larger screws on the shorter side because you run the risk of them poking out the other side of your table, and we don't want that. So again, over here on the back side with the shorter gap over here, short bolts, bigger gap over here is going to be the front, and that is going to be where these larger bolts go in, and they're going through those spacers. So now that we've got all 4 of these bolts in there, and we've caught the first few threads, we can go ahead and tighten it. Okay, and I'll just go around and do these all semi-tight first, just to make sure that everything's grabbing all the threads properly. If you feel any resistance on the bolt, but you know you're grabbing the threads and you're not cross-threading, it could be that you're just that the hole that it's going into might be a little bit outside of the holes that this is, and so your bolt might be catching the edge of the actual bracket. So you'll just have to be kind of careful as you go along and see how this one's it's making a little bit of noise here, because it's just kind of rubbing on this bracket a little bit. So there's a little bit of resistance there, but it's a different resistance than what a cross thread would feel like. All right, so we'll go ahead and crank these all down now. Don't have to go too crazy, just make sure that it's nice and tight. All right, and now they're all nice and tight, and then we can go ahead and mount this onto the arm of our Lagun table and tighten this up, and then put this on the leg and all that fun stuff. Okay. And for those of you who are wondering what's up with the spacers, what's up with the longer bolts, the explanation is fairly simple. What happens with these tables being as heavy as they are is that oftentimes you end up sagging a little bit due to the weight. So what we're doing is we're preventing that ahead of time with these spacers, angling up the table a little bit so that naturally when it dips down from the weight, you end up at a more or less level. Thanks for watching this video on how to assemble the large universal table to the Lagun mount. We hope you found this useful. Any links you'll need will be in the description below. Have a good one, be safe out there. We'll see you on the next one.